The ones that watch later will be like, what is he doing? I'm waiting on people to come in. Um, I'll go ahead and say this now. Getting ready for birthday celebration Friday. It may be lame. I don't know. Um, Waiting on people to get in here, and this is unplanned. But I got about 2 hours. I had some cancellations, so I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs at work. So, hey, Blue Eye, how you doing? I don't. I never know if these alerts work anymore. Uh, Greg, I think Greg. Some people are having trouble, and you know what? I didn't think about this, but I've seen my subscriber count go down a few and up. Y'all be sure and check. Now, y'all are probably getting alerts, but I'll say this to everybody on my live Friday night. Everybody needs to check their subscription and see, because I've heard accounts of people not being subscribed that has subscribed. So, what's up, Randall and Blue Eye? Y'all, I'm this is totally unplanned. You've been getting alerts, so y'all should be fine. But there are some people that haven't been, that I know were subbed, and I didn't even think about that, because like sometimes you'll see the number will drop a few, and I understand people unsub, but I have heard other shows. I just thought about this that have had people have to go back and resub. Um, yeah, I was sitting here bored at work. Tried the TikTok thing, and no, I didn't know anybody on there. So okay, thank you. When people don't get notification, they can unsubscribe and resubscribe, and make sure notification is set to all. Hey Tom, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, and that's um, you've been getting okay. So and that's I need to tell them in the text. Uh oh, I thought that was me. They fa- thought they found something for me to do. I had some cancellations, so alerts. Okay, thank you. I appreciate y'all letting me know. But everybody that's here right now, there's like 7 people. Y'all should be getting them. But I need to tell the ones that are not getting alerts. Will y'all remind me, like when we go live Friday, probably about 7 o'clock, to tell people. Randall says, Roger, have you seen big X's on the ground? The one I saw on the farm could be natural. Yeah, we did. We found one big one, 2 cedar trees that were dead, and then and this is something I hadn't told everybody. We went back this year at starting the hunting season. I went back to the X, and I decided to pull the leaves out around the trees, at the base of the trees, to see if they were brought in from somewhere else, or they were um, had lived there and died there and just accidentally somehow fell into the perfect X shape. Okay, and I was digging the first one, and it was there. It was original to that spot. It was dead. The roots were dead. It had been broken and pushed over. And then the other one though was not original to that spot. So either somebody or something brought one from some other location and crossed them like that. Yeah, and that was something that didn't hit me till later. I'm like, well, what? I wonder, maybe they just lived there. They died close at the same time and just fell. But no, one was brought in. I forgot to tell everybody that. Hey, Team Squirrel, thank you. Yeah, so I mean, a lot of times when you're out looking at everything, there's so much to take in. I didn't think about that till 2 years later, from when we first from when we first found that. So that was kind of a big deal. And then the other day, I keep going back to this. There was a full grown hedge apple. All right, thanks for stopping by, Tom. All right, yeah, y'all don't. I mean, I know everybody has stuff to do. This is just, but I like some of the questions. I like Randall asking questions because I had forgotten to tell everybody that, and because I had the thought, I'm like, well, what if it was an accident, perfect accident. But if one was brought in from another location, it wasn't an accident. Now the hedge apple that we found in a spot where it shouldn't have been is confused us too. It didn't have teeth marks, and usually if a squirrel or a deer or a cow or whatever tries to chew on one of those hedge apples, they'll do it right there, and they'll tear it up, and different ones do different things. But the cows, I mean, you can get choked on them. But this one particular hedge apple, in one of the videos we did, was in a spot where we don't know why it was there. We don't know how it got there. It couldn't have rolled through that thick stuff because we couldn't even walk through it. So it didn't roll down the hill. There wasn't any mature trees that could have produced that, and it was just one. So now Peyton did, when we got at the top of the hill where there were some mature trees and where some had fallen, they were still fresh. Without telling me, I had my back turned. He threw one, and he was going to go see, how far it would bounce or whatever, and it scared me. Like, you gotta, before you do something like that, you gotta let me know. Give me a heart attack, because we're not really that scared. Hey, Roger Blair. Y'all, when Roger Blair comes into it, if I'm in a chat under Squatchin Holler and Roger comes in and everybody's like, hey Roger, and I'm like, I think it's me at first, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, Blair must be here somewhere. But because a lot of people don't know who I am because it's under the Squatchin Holler name. Thanks for stopping by. I'm not doing anything. There's probably people over here at the nursing home thinking, who in the heck's he talking to? I'm gonna roll my window up. Hey, sister. Y'all, Rachel's my sister. Don't believe anything she says. Hey, James. Thank you for coming by. This is just, don't judge the show on just this here, because I was bored, had cancellations at work, and just thought I'd stop and talk to y'all. Yeah, I promise you the other lives will be a lot more fun, because you have to have time to prepare for them. We're gonna do the birthday celebrations Friday. God, y'all so stressful. I'm 45 away from 1,000, and I know I don't need to stress about it, but I keep trying to think of ways to, because once I get to 1,000, I'm going to stop bugging everybody and then let it, just let it grow. But I do need to remind people that they might need to recheck. Oh yeah, James. Hey, that's what I love about this. The people that we have on, they have these amazing stories, and I have some, and I know there's people that are flesh and blood only, and some that heavily into the woo. I'm trying to talk to everybody because I think it lands somewhere in the middle, and there might be some that are all flesh and blood, and then a different batch that has some abnormal abilities. Kind of like we always go to the eel or the octopus or chameleon or some of this plankton that's bioluminescent. So, hey, medic, you're making a cake topper for the birthday celebration. All right, thank you. Mama's making me a cake, y'all. I've got my mom really good at making cakes. She makes beautiful cakes. She does that on the side, and I sent her a picture of my logo, and I want it on the top of the cake with the dark colors and the light blue. And so, yeah, Jane Doe, when I first got into this, talking about this, with people, I had no idea. But the more people I talked to, because I heard when Yohala Tiger was on the show the other night, um, he said that different people, like he said, the non-natives, and then he said his people, Cherokee. We may be talking about the same thing with just different names, and some cultures may have three different names for the same thing. Then I got to thinking, well, if that's possible, you know, I know what I saw. I know stuff that's happened to me that's woo-ish. I mean, when I say that, I mean like orbs and stuff, with witnesses. No video because I was so new at it. I'm transitioning from somebody had an encounter to somebody that was co-hosting with shows and having so many questions to kind of a researcher, and I screwed up a lot this year. Hey Henry, thanks for coming in. So Jane says, I think there are different tribes types that have different abilities. Agree with that. James says, I have some too. Had some crazy experiences in my life. With you 100%. Maybe several different. Yeah. Because that would explain some things. Why some people are on one side only, and then the other. But then you have people in the middle, like I was, and then you have people that on the other at each end, and maybe we're okay. I sent Misty some monkey sounds. You can see the deer react to them. I'll see if she'll show that to us in the chat we got going on. But y'all, when I'm not doing a show, which you don't do shows all the time, I'm not thinking about this 24/7, but I do have time to think about this stuff, and everybody may be right. I just say that everybody might be absolutely correct in whatever their opinion is, because it counts. It depends on what your encounters are. If I was just going by what happened to me when I was 14, hey Henry, if I just went by what happened to me at 14, I would be all flesh and blood. But now, having the orbs happen, and more than once, my daughter went and her husband went with us a couple months back, and I think I told y'all about him. I was like, look guys, this is serious. Don't be doing anything stupid. If I tell you to do something, if I say get in the truck, and don't ask any questions. Well, we got out to stretch our legs, and then he just drops down and starts meditating. I don't know what he was doing. I saw him hit the ground in the dark over there. Well, then my wife, Heather, is trying to get my attention, and she's seeing an orb over here, not wanting to yell out. My daughter's like, oh my God, there's an orange orb right there. Well, when they say orange, I'm thinking Bigfoot globe for eyes, right? I don't know. But I've got all these people out there, and I'm supposed to be trying to help protect them, and I'm panicking like, y'all get in the truck now. Cielo, get off the ground, quit doing what you're doing, because whatever you're doing has caused these orbs. And this is a paranormal spot. It's where we got a lot of Bigfoot audio that y'all probably heard, the screams and the howls and stuff. But what did Kimberly say? I definitely feel like they're all telepathic, though. Could be. Because if y'all heard us talking about Peyton, what happened to him last week, we had the tree that was either pushed over or fell over with no breeze. The deer flipping out, looking up that way, scared to death, didn't move for 45 minutes. And then the thumping he heard, he didn't know what it was. And Greg told him it could have been, chest thumping. But he said the one thing that scared him was he's laying on the ground, he's hunting, and he was about to take this doe. And it was so close to him, behind him, he said, I'm about to turn around, and one of these big SOBs are going to be standing here looking at me, right? But he said then all of a sudden, he said that it was a thought that come through his head, but it wasn't his thought. He said it weirded him out, because it said the thought was, I'm here, don't shoot. Now, this is where we had the rock thrown at us. We've had things happen. We haven't felt threatened. And he said he didn't feel threatened. He said he was nervous that he was going to see one finally, or, you know. But, hey, Danny, South Carolina. Oh, Sparkle City down there. You know, I got to interview Peyton. He's 14. Mine's 26. He'll be 27 in May. But Danny, you might find this interesting. Maybe not. I worked for a little small newspaper. I mean, when I say small, I mean my cousin owned it, and he didn't have anybody helping him, and he wanted to know if I could write, you know, interview people or whatever. I'm like, I don't know. I've never done anything but talk to people at a store behind a counter. He said it's the same thing. You just write down what they say. So I was doing that, and there's well, I guess you call it a honky tonk here in southern middle Tennessee. It used to be Big Jim's, and now it's Mama's Country, and I guess it's still open. But I got to interview David Ball from South Carolina, the country singer, and he was cool. He was such a good guy, and got to spend time with him out at the place, go backstage and stuff. It was, you know, pretty good. Yeah, but we haven't been going much, Rachel. Jane Doe, James Gilliland at City Ranger recounting experience when he was in the woods, saw an orb and watched the Sasquatch. It's still open, High Tech Redneck? Okay. I don't do that anymore, so I didn't know. That's been 08, 09, I think. But yeah, I've heard stories like that, Jane Doe. I absolutely have heard stories like that, and not just from people way off from here. Don, that the game warden that comes on with us sometimes, he's my go-to guy. He used to research these UFOs back in the 70s. I think he was a member of MUFON back then, and he said that one of his friends said he saw something similar, but he actually saw a Bigfoot step out of a UFO. Now, when he used to tell me that 20 years ago, I'd kind of roll my eyes. I ain't gonna lie about it, but man, now with all this, Henry, yeah, Bama and Debbie told part of the same story. I'll have to get Bama to talk more about it. At LBL, that they did see an orb, and they were hearing all these howls and stuff. So, I don't know about how often. I don't know how often that this orb stuff happens, but so Peyton and I saw a light earlier this year before the leaves were back on the trees in the spring, and it didn't act crazy, but it shouldn't have been there. The one Heather and I saw in the same location was up 10 foot in a tree, and I was trying to teach her how to judge distance and stuff, because I knew, you know, being a shooter, I knew, you know, 20 yards is easy. But I said, how high you think that is? And I don't know how to tell. I said, well, do you know how high a basketball goal is, regulation, 10 foot? She said, oh, yeah. I said, well, is that close? It's really close. So it's, you know, 10 foot, give or take. So it was 20 yards away, 10 foot up in the tree. And it pulsated. It would get brighter and dimmer and change sizes. And, you know, it was about, I'm going to say it wasn't a foot long. Maybe it was. It was close. So, and it wasn't round. And I talked to some of the crew, Woodwalker's crew and some others, and they said, well, orb doesn't have to be round. It's just, what James, listen to this. So James says vacuum to absorb sound. Just a thought. I believe my counter was a portal related to. I could feel the shock waves at times before it all started. All right, I'm going to have Robin Haynes on this month. So be sure and be there, and you can ask her questions. She's I didn't know. I don't know. She has some incredible stories, but she's knowledgeable too. Because you can ask her a question and she can answer it, just like that question there. We used to photograph orbs and faces in my mom's house. I got spooked and deleted them. It'll do you like that. But what I was gonna say to James. So when I saw the UFO, I was about 17, and I judging by the remembering the car I was driving at the time, and I saw it without going through the whole story. And when it came back up and was really steady, this van's running, y'all. So when it left, it went straight up into the sky. No, it was dark. The stars. It was kind of like the weather right now. No humidity. Um, no clouds. And when it left, it straight up and gone. And right then, I knew it was legit. And um, it took literally almost. It took 35 years for this question to pop into my head, because if I've said this before, but all of you that shoot, or any of you that are pilots, or when you break the speed of sound, you get the sonic boom. Like the 22 rifle, it's moving, the bullet's moving faster than speed of sound, so you hear that crack. That's a sonic boom. Even with your big rifle, same thing. The crack that's involved in that is that bullet's breaking the speed of sound. You get your subsonic rounds, you won't have that. Well, it hit me one night before I went on a show. I was helping co-host with Red Creek, and that we had a UFO guy on there, and it hit me right before I asked him, why did I not hear a sonic boom? Because this thing left way faster than the speed of light. I should have heard a sonic boom, and I didn't. So that vacuum thing you're talking about, it defied physics, the law of physics, in more ways than one. I'm not a physics expert, but I do know when it left, it didn't make a sound. There was no propulsion visible, and it was gone so fast. We had been in the G-force machine down in Huntsville. I don't remember what we got to, 3, maybe 4, whatever it was. But I felt like my face was about to come off. So I'd been exposed to the G's, and what this would have generated would have killed anything that had been on there. Yeah, I mean, same here, James. We're right now we're speculating on a lot of stuff, but the more people we get together with different encounters. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. We'll have people on that'll know a little bit about that, but we definitely can point you to people too, that, or maybe some, like when Robin's on, ask those questions and see what she has to say, because something that keeps coming up in all of this, something that keeps up with, or keeps coming up, no matter if we're talking about UFOs, if we're talking about Dogman, Bigfoot, um, ghost and paranormal stuff like that, the one word that keeps popping up is energy. And Robin's a good one to talk to about that, because I first started paying attention when she was on Mike's show, and I've got some questions. That's Robin has some amazing stories, but what I want her to do is discuss, the whys maybe and the hows. So I'm just open minded, and I've I've seen enough, or to make it sound creepier, but this is really how it feels. I've been shown enough in different times in my life, in different stages, that it's got me to this point to where I have so many questions. And if I talk to James and James tells me that he has this experience, then I can say, James, I don't know what that was, but maybe we can find somebody that does. And then so I'm learning also. Um, because, when, who was it? The Sierra Sounds, his name escapes me, but he's Moorhead, Ron Moorhead. So when he started talking about the light spectrum and how small of that we can see, and then my son-in-law starts talking about ghosts and what he's seen and stuff that I've seen and other people, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, what if James over here can see the same lights in the light spectrum here that we can, but he might see a couple bands over here or over there, right? I know, right? Did I gain one? Yeah, I've got everything set up. They approved me, and they went through and checked everything out, make sure I wasn't paying for subs, and you know had bots and all that. So everybody that's on there is legit. But yeah, y'all, if y'all can find 44 subs for me, that would be the best birthday present ever. Kimberly says, yes, my native friend and I artifact hunt. Says they are energy. Have you ever? I tried real estate one time, and I gave myself a year. Our store, I stayed at the same job for almost 30 years, and then they shut the highway. They built the highway, shut us down. And I tried a few different things. Have you ever been in a house? I got to show houses. You walk in 10 houses, but this one certain one has this heavy feel to it or different energy. Friday's my birthday. Yep. So maybe we have enough time. I don't know. If we don't, that's fine too. But it's exciting. That's a big goal. That was a goal I set, which we all set. But you go into these houses, and even some of the new houses, but you feel that energy's off a little bit. And I was showing a house one time, and the lady I turned, she was deaf, and we texted, and that's why she picked me, because I was new. And then I was texting her. I felt this. We got to the middle of the house. I felt this horrible, dark energy, and I'm not one of those people. I don't know what you call it. I just felt it. It was all over me, and I started looking around. I looked back at her, and her eyes were, kind of big, and I said, "You want to go?" And she's like, "Yes." And we left, and I went and did a little research on that house, a little more research. That house, most of it was new, but the very center of it was a 120 something or 30-year-old cabin that they had built onto, but they made it look really nice, and you couldn't tell it, but we felt it when we walked in, and we got out of there. I don't know what it was. Well, happy birthday, High Tech. Hey, Abnormal, welcome in. James, I can feel energy in houses, and it was sleep anywhere in the woods without a tent even, but I don't do all the houses. No, No, I mean, my sister, if she's still in the chat, we've lived in a couple haunted houses. That's another thing. I mean, how do you explain that? How do you, oh, and here's another thing. All Bigfoot can't do that. All Dogman can't do that. I don't know where I'm at with Dogman, but all Bigfoot, he can't do this. How do you know? I mean, if you're living and they're coming to visit you and you're sitting down having a talk with them, that's strange, right? But y'all, James, you said, hey, Mike. I don't see a Mike in here. Unless you know somebody's name. Who is it? I need to know in case somebody's done something. One of my moderators by accident. Because I saw somebody say, hey, Mike, a show or two before, and it was scrolling so fast, and I didn't see. Oh, abnormal. Okay, I didn't know if Mike from Red Creek was in here and I wasn't seeing him. Thank you. Okay. It scared me. I didn't know if one of my moderators had. I'm new at this. I didn't know if they'd blocked somebody that I wasn't seeing, or I accidentally did, or something. Okay, that makes me feel better. Thank you. Um, Randall said it showed the orbs in the second picture going in the same direction we heard the long, loud howl. Man, I'm hearing a lot of that stuff. And the energy and the cloaking um, and you say, well, that's impossible. And then you look, quick search on the internet, and they're showing people in other countries that, if it's real, have some kind of material that they can pull up, and they're hiding themselves with it's playing with the light, but that's cloaking, right? I would think. So who knows what's possible? But there's people that say they do, and they live they have conversations with them, and maybe they do. Yeah, the adaptive camouflage. Yeah, I mean that's amazing. Well, it's all about tricking the eyes, tricking the brain. Even sound. I mean, how many? All right, y'all old people, don't lie here. How many of y'all have been on vacation and the radio has been turned up, and you're looking for a parking spot, or you're looking for a certain store or hotel, and you reach over and you turn the radio down so you can see better. Am I the only one that's done that? I got ink on my hand. I mean, I've been to concerts where it get too close to the speakers and the vibrations shake my eyes, Yeah, I mean, so vibrations, your trick, and then um, we're we're not that hard to we're not that hard to fool. I used to do a little sleight of hand stuff. What what did you do? Those clips I sent you the other day. I don't know what clips you're talking about. Y'all, if you hear me talking mean, that's my sister, so it's okay. Uh, I yeah, Henry. I don't want any distractions when I'm in a dangerous spot. Sure, I've done the same thing. Turn the radio down. Well, and one reason I can't hear out of this ear was Angus Young. My senior year, I had a 1968 Plymouth Satellite. It was full of speakers. I was redneck of the year, and I had that turned up. I come up to the top of the hill at high school, going to park that morning, and Angus hit a high note. I don't remember what song it was, and it felt like an ice pick went in his ear. And I doubled over, and I was still trying to drive, and I was getting sick. I pulled in and got parked and ended up having to go home. But I blame Angus Young from ACDC for that one. It wasn't my fault. Y'all see the camera back there? Back there? They're all over the place. They're recording me. Reckon they'll get on to me for talking Bigfoot on the clock. But I had cancellation, so I don't have anything else to do. My next pickup is in an hour. It was my fault. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get off here. And well, high tech redneck, you got to be local here. I can't see your picture. If you know about Mama's country, I barely can see. I'm blind. Give me some initials. Lewisburg. Oh, is this on Facebook too? No, I've got the StreamYard hooked up. That's right. And this right here is going to be y'all. This is show private for a little while when you do it on YouTube, when you go live, they have to make sure you didn't say anything stupid. and then they'll approve it later. StreamYard's pretty much I guess they do it while you're talking, so it's pretty much instant. Well, I'm gonna get off here, and y'all, Friday night, that's when we're gonna do the birthday thing. I've sent some invites, and maybe some people come in for a few minutes, but well, I don't know. It's kind of last minute, and just yeah, I'm gonna try to get that 1,000. Hey, thanks for stopping in, James. Thanks for giving us a chance. Like we said, oh, I think, did I see you on, was it Bob Doll channel, Bobby? I've seen you comment under that name before. I like the high tech redneck because that's what I feel like. Get this to actually work. All right, I'll see y'all later. Thank y'all for stopping by. Once we hit 1,000, oh, you did? Thank you, I appreciate it. Once we hit 1,000, hey Wendell, this thing is on YouTube, so it'll be a while before it's released to come back. Okay, thank you, I appreciate. Did you see that? But I'm fixing to leave here, and Wendell, this thing will be live, be ready to watch later because it has to go through approval, YouTube approval. Now I appreciate y'all, and what I'm gonna do, like, you know, I'll be honest with everybody. What little money I make, I have to recover. I spent 600 on a laptop, 150 on a mic, about 80 on a HD camera, and some other stuff. I mean, that's fine, but it'll just help recoup some of that money. Plus, you know, if we want to go to LBL or get some video for people that can't get out and do stuff, it'll help with gas money. It's not a lot, but every little bit helps. And they put the thing on there for the super chats and all that, and that's something that's totally up to everybody. Everybody's having a tough time out there, and I'm never going to ask for anything for anybody. But what you can do is, like, if I do reach the 1,000 mark, when a commercial pops up, just let it run and let YouTube pay me. You know, probably 2 cents. But yeah. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. I'll see y'all Friday. Rachel, I'll see you before that, probably. Thank y'all. See you, Alan.